Warm greetings, Code Monkeys, and welcome back to CodedLockFilms. It's time to return once again to the Disney Ripoff collection. This series has been one hell of a mixed bag, hasn't it? We've ranged from dull with occasional hilarity,
away, sky creatures, away!
To joyously riffable,
speak, my son,
to the just plain old problematic.
Let us watch and let us learn from the pale-faced way.
God, that one still makes me feel gross. But today we're looking at the last ripoff on this particular disc, Snow White. And just to put all my cards on the table, I don't care for Disney's Snow White all that much. Don't get me wrong, I understand and greatly appreciate its cultural importance. In a historical sense, it's one of the most important animated films ever made, perhaps the most important, and believe me, I do not say that lightly. But with the benefit of experience and hindsight, I think it can be agreed that there are a lot of things about the movie that really don't hold up. The animation is a little mixed, with the cartoonier aspects like the animals and the dwarves still looking fantastic even today, but with the more realistic human characters looking, well, a little weird from time to time. And the movie is really lacking in terms of plot. The main story spends a huge amount of time in the background, and the second act is basically nothing but filler. Entertaining and well-crafted filler, absolutely, but filler nonetheless. There's a lot of room for improvement is what I'm saying, but does this version of the Snow White tale actually make any improvements? Well, let's find out.
Code Monkey, get up, get coffee. Code Monkey, go to job. Code Monkey, have boring meeting with boring manager Rob. Rob say Code Monkey very diligent, but his output stink. His code not functional or elegant. What do Code Monkey think? Code Monkey think maybe manager wanna write goddamn login page himself. Code Monkey not say it out loud. Code Monkey not crazy, just proud. Code Monkey like Fritos. Code Monkey like Tab and Mountain Dew. Code Monkey very simple man with big warm fuzzy secret heart. Code Monkey like you. Code Monkey like you.
As is so often the case with these movies, we begin with an utterly inconsequential song that tells us nothing we couldn't have just as easily learned from the opening narration. With that in mind, let us skip to the opening narration.
This is a story about love, and how love and beauty are more powerful than wickedness and jealousy.
This is a story about love, and how love and beauty are more powerful than wickedness and jealousy. I'm not sure what's more insulting here, this movie centering around such a basic, dirt-simple concept, or the fact that the movie thinks its audience is so stupid that it has to have said concept explained to them by a man possessed of the vocal equivalent of Valium.
Many years ago, there was a tiny, beautiful kingdom in a faraway...
Actually, you know what? I'm not done. Pretty much all the Goodtime Entertainment movies I've covered thus far have used this same guy as their narrator, or at least it sounds like the same guy every time. I honestly can't tell for sure if it's the same guy every time because the credits in these movies are so poor and ill-defined. But I just gotta ask, why? Why this guy? I speak with no hyperbole when I say that this man has the most generic, soporific voice I have ever heard in my entire life. There is nothing remarkable about this man's inflections, diction, tone, or cadence. Whenever this man speaks, I feel like Harry fucking Potter sitting in Professor Bin's History of Magic class. There's no point in listening to this guy. The setup is pretty basic. Good king and queen have a kingdom that literally glows with the magic of their love. Fucking really. They have a daughter named Snow White, good queen dies, good king marries evil stepmother.
She was a wicked and cruel woman who was only happy when she was looking into one of her many mirrors.
And she looked like Link from the Legend of Zelda cartoon.
And when the good king perished while fighting a war in a faraway land, the new queen did not shed a single tear. For now she could tax the people heavily and use the money to buy all sorts of lotions and potions. And use the money to buy all sorts of lotions and potions.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Use the money to buy what now?
Lotions and potions.
Lotions and potions.
Lotions and potions.
The Fiend! Oh, man. That line really came out of nowhere. These movies, man. Sometimes. And of course, we have our magic mirror as well.
Magic mirror, tell me do. Tell your mistress, tell her true. Answer me, obey my call. Who's the loveliest of all?
I gotta say, it lacks the pithy punch of your classic magic mirror on the wall couplet.
And each time, the magic mirror would answer exactly the same way.
The answer, Queen, is crystal clear. You are most lovely far and near.
Honestly, I love how fucking bored that mirror sounds. It's an omniscient magical artifact bound to speak the total and absolute truth to anyone who talks to it, and she just makes it tell her how pretty she is a few dozen times a day. You'd be fucking bored too. Bored and insulted. And of course there comes the inevitable day where the Queen's beauty is surpassed by Snow White's.
Her skin is pure as a brand new snow. Her eyes set people's hearts aglow. Lips red as blood, hair black as night. The loveliest is fair Snow White.
Listen to the relish in that mirror's voice. It's been dying to tell her a different answer for years, and it's enjoying every second of it.
Your loveliness is great, 'tis true, but there is one more fair than you. For Snow White's beauty does begin where yours does stop. 'Tis from within.
So the Queen sends her huntsman, played by John Smith, to kill Snow White. Okay, seriously guys? Just because you rip off the appearance of a different princess doesn't mean we aren't going to fucking notice. But yeah, he doesn't go through with it. Snow White runs away, changes into a pink dress, and escapes through a forest made of T-Rex trees and strangely well-defined mists.
Dooby-dooby-doo, where are you?
Then she runs into this guy.
Whoa there! Wait a minute, miss. You are the most lovely creature this forest has ever seen.
Who instantly turns the creep factor up to 11.
Please, let me go!
Who are you? What are you afraid of? Let me help you, please.
Milady?
After her! I must know who she is!
Dude. No means no.
Never have I felt like this. Truly, I think this must be love.
Hey, Prince Fedora, are you trying to set some kind of land speed record here?
I swear by all that I hold sacred, I shall find that girl, no matter how long it takes.
The only words she has spoken to you are, please let me go. Write this one off and go complain about it on r/theredpill.
And if I am lucky enough, she will become my princess.
Thank you, gentlemen, for channeling the audience. So Snow White does her typical breaking and entering routine in the home of the 7, garden gnomes, who surprisingly have their priorities pretty straight.
Isn't she beautiful?
Yes, but what's she doing here?
Yeah! I love that reaction! Who cares if she's pretty? She's fucking trespassing! This movie is surprisingly self-aware.
Didn't anyone tell you that it's rude to wake someone up by yelling?
Fuck you!
Who are you anyway?
Oh, that's right. We haven't been properly introduced. Only improperly awakened.
You've got some fucking nerve, Snow! You break into their house, eat their food, sleep in their beds, and you have the temerity to accuse them of being rude because they didn't wake you up correctly?
Well, little Miss Rainy Day, have you ever heard of a thing called trespassing?
It's Snow White. And yes, I have.
Yeah, her excuse basically amounts to, the door was open, so I figured the law didn't apply to me because I'm hungry and tired. Entitled little shit. But they eventually decide to let her stay because the Queen wants her dead, and it's basically common knowledge that the Queen is a vain, murderous despot who will destroy anything prettier than her.
We'll protect you from that.
Shh! After all, it is her mother. Stepmother. A stepmother's love can be as deep and pure as any mother's.
Fuck yeah, man! Do I even need to explain why that line is awesome? Real talk. Disney has spent years upon years pushing the message that only a birth parent can truly care for a child. And any adoptive parent is at best a jerk who will never appreciate you, and at worst a lying, manipulative monster. The Queen, Lady Tremaine, Queen Nerissa. And before you say that this was only a problem in the old days, need I remind you that Tangled was pulling this crap as recently as 2010. And with one line of dialogue, this movie has told that notion to piss off. Well done, Goodtime Entertainment. Well done. But of course, the Queen uses her magic mirror to find out where Snow White has gone and resolves to finish the job herself.
Once I have disposed of her, no one in the entire kingdom will be more beautiful than I. No one!
But instead of using poisoned apples to take out Snow, the Queen takes the much more direct route of just fucking strangling her. Crude, but effective. Or it would have been effective if she hadn't done it using magic lace that allows Snow to wake up the instant it's removed from around her neck. Also, the magic lace is made of snakes. Why? I don't know.
She does enchant each one she meets. Her heart was still, but now it beats. And though you are a beauteous sight, you don't compare with fair Snow White.
Seriously, I love this mirror. But now we go to visit the dwarves in the mines and...
Hip, hip, hooray, another working day. Hip, hip, hooray, singing all the way.
Okay guys, look, your movies are going to be compared to the Disney versions. It's inevitable, and you know it. Hi-Ho is one of the most memorable and catchy songs Disney ever put out, and that is saying something. Why would you try to compete with that? Especially with such a lousy, annoying imitation. You didn't have to. You didn't have to include this scene. The movie contains no other songs besides the one over the intro and the one over the closing credits. Nobody was gonna care if you cut this out. Just because you can include a song doesn't mean you should. But over at the cottage, the Queen is once again making an attempt on Snow's life, this time by stabbing her in the head with a poison-tipped comb. Unfortunately for the Queen, she elected to use a magic poison that stops working once the offending object is removed. Here's a thought, Queenie. Have you considered using, I don't know, just a regular poison, like from, say, like a snake or something? Oh no, I'm sorry, you needed the snakes for the whole laces thing. No, that's fine, I get that, I understand. Okay, well, maybe something different, like, how about the poison from a black widow spider? That would work pretty well. You needed the Black Widow to turn into a comb, okay. Yeah, I can see that. As a woman who spends 90% of her life primping in front of mirrors, I imagine combs are very difficult to come by. Okay, so if magic poison that only kind of works is all you've got, how about you maybe, like, slit her throat while she's unconscious and completely at your mercy? No? Just gonna go with the whole apple thing? Alright, whatever floats your boat. But Rapey the Clown shows up to try to steal her dead body.
Snow White, at last I know your name, and it is too late, too late! May I take her with me?
What? No, never!
I love how sensible these guys are.
I will take her back to my palace and pay any price to the one who can revive her. I shall find a way to reverse this cursed spell, for I'm certain she merely sleeps.
I fear you are wrong, brave prince. But since it is clear that you love her as much as we do, maybe you can find a way to bring her back.
Yes, it's clear that you love her as much as we do, guy who doesn't know her name. Yeah, what I just said now about you being sensible, I take it back. And here's the killer part. It isn't even him that revives her. Yeah, he tells his two flunkies to load her up, and when they move her, the apple just falls out of her mouth. Fucking fantastic.
Where am I?
In the arms of the man who would be your husband, my love. My sweet, beautiful love.
Dude, seriously, back off. You have somehow managed to out-creep your Disney counterpart, and that guy kissed a girl he thought was fucking dead. But apparently I'm the only one who gives a shit because they get married anyway. What a lousy ending.
Who's the loveliest of all? Your plan has failed, for can't you see there is one more beautiful than thee? Skin fair as snow, hair black as night. Behold the fairest one, Snow White.
Man, if only I'd used common sense. I'm gonna go all Gerard Butler's Phantom up in here.
What manner of sorcery is this?
Your jealousy's become a curse. Your luck has gone from bad to worse. You're passing through a magic door where you'll behold yourself no more. Your wicked face no more to see. You'll stay here for eternity. So welcome to my special place, and nevermore you'll see your face.
Holy shit, that was fucking metal! Oh yeah, and there's more wedding stuff and an ending narration, but who gives a shit? The magic mirror just dragged the villain into eternal purgatory. Gold star. And that, Code Monkeys, is Snow White. Final thoughts? Well, honestly, guys, I found this one pretty damn enjoyable, though admittedly in a partially ironic way. Some moments are just flat out hilarious, and the movie really is extremely riffable. But aside from it being a blast to make fun of, there are some really great moments in this thing. The sarcastic magic mirror and the personalities of the dwarves in particular are a joy to watch. Especially the whole stepmother thing. That is genuinely great writing. I've got quibbles, of course. The movie isn't much to look at for one thing, but I think we've all come to expect that by now. Snow herself is unengaging at best and irritating at worst, the prince is just a flat-out stalker, and the villain is a preposterous idiot on top of being a walking cliche. But despite all of that, the movie is generally entertaining enough. It held my attention, and for the most part, I enjoyed seeing it, which is more than I can say for a lot of these things. It's not a revelatory work of filmmaking or anything, and it doesn't really stand up to multiple viewings, but as far as fairy tale adaptations go, you could do a hell of a lot worse. On the worth meter, I would give it a solid worth renting. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment telling me what you thought, and until next time, Code Monkeys, I will see you later. Pretty much all of the Goodtime Entertainment... I speak, my son. Whenever this man speaks, I feel like Harry fucking Potter sitting in Professor Bin's History of Art class. History of art. But yeah, he doesn't go through with it. Snow White runs away, changes into a pink dress, and before you say that this was only a problem in the old days, need I remind you that Tangled was pulling this crap as neat. It's not a revelatory work of filmmakering.
I am Snape, the lotion's master.
Ew.